Before the Bronx ever birthed the world's first hip-hop artists, and while Detroit created its pioneers in rhythm and blues, Norfolk, Virginia had cultivated a new wave of soul artists whose music has transcended time. A multitude of musicians, including Grammy nominee Gary U.S. Bonds, singer-songwriter and playwright Linus Guess, and local record mogul Frank Guida, developed a progressive style of music that became widely known as the Norfolk Sound.
Just ask what you want of me, and I'll do it. Oh, baby, I will do it. Tell me what you want me to be, and I'll be it. Try anything you want.
Between Frank Guida's 3 record labels, Legrand, Lamond, and SPQR, Linus Guess's songwriting and production, and local label Shiptown Records ran by Noah Biggs, Norfolk began to develop a vibrant musical scene which is said to have been recognized by everyone from Diana Ross to the Beatles. Even early on, many of these artists foreshadowed the impact of the era's musical contributions.
When he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal and he learns how to fight.
I think lately music has been moving more toward a unified thing. We're seeing music borrowing, every form is borrowing from every other form, so that we have a more or less kind of an eclectic thing going. I think that there'll probably be one form of music.
People aren't afraid anymore to let other people listen to their music.
Yeah.
I think when we finally have a big blend, I think if we can start something, somebody's really going to catch on. It's really going to go far.
Church Street, a heavy urban strip, became the hub of talent in Norfolk. Among all these artists, Ray T. Jones's story is perhaps the most unique. Although he shared a common tie of military roots like some of his predecessors, the North Philadelphia native developed a promising career in rock, country, and soul that contributed to the unique musical stylings of the region that would later be adopted by future generations.
I heard it walking down Church Street.
It was a city going through transition from segregated times to enlightenment, I like to think. And I was frightened. I didn't want to get off the ship. Heard all these crazy things, I said, oh my God, man, it's just South, they're going to kill me or something, I don't know. But the Navy had other ideas. You had to go on shore patrol, which meant you'll act like the police in clubs where military frequent. So the black sailors went on Church Street and the white sailors went down to East Main Street. And it's hard to believe today because East Main Street is the financial center. But in those days it was honky-tonk, juke-junk, rowdy clubs, fights and everything. And me, going on Church Street, they had clubs too, but they had live bands, real music. I went on shore patrol, and you're required to go into every restaurant and club. And every restaurant and club I went in, they had a band, and it was jamming. The best was one called Queen's Lounge at church in Bremerton. So that was my introduction. And in going down Church Street, I passed the House of Prayer. And I heard better music there than at the Queen's Lounge because they had a jamming band. And it brought back memories in Philadelphia. To me, that was the Norfolk Sound. Sanctified, holiness, Pentecostal, with the drums in the church and the instruments, jamming, choir swaying. Now, that was the Norfolk Sound. I did my sailor duties in those days, which was 9-month cruises. And when you came back for the final 3 months of the year, you spent at least 35 days at sea training. So I had less than 40 days to spend with my family. And I married young. My wife was 18, I was 19. And we're making like $187 a month. But I never forget, I came home and the little neighbor kid ran and said, "They done gone." I said, "Gone? What do you mean?" "They done gone." I said, "Well, maybe they went to the store." And they said, "No, they done gone." So I went upstairs and I put the key in the door. I said, "Hello, hello, hello." Echo, echo. And I'll never forget, I went to the bathroom and she had dropped a bobby pin that they used to hold the hair up. I bent down to pick it up and cried my heart out, and I walked out, sat on the porch, and wrote this song, "'Cause You're Coming Home," where I fantasized that she would come back.
Since you went away, I thought about you night and day.
I wanna walk the streets, taking the sights. Hey, I got to hear Norfolk woman laugh in the night, laugh in the night. Hey, take me back to Norfolk town. Hey, I left a lot of love, a lot of heartache there, a lot of heartache there.
Lennox Guest had his studio and a 35th Street band, and we recorded. And I met Frankie Guida. He had this fabulous record shop. He sold my records, and I think it reached number 8 at one time here in the area. And I made $10,000, which was unheard of. And we didn't see eye to eye as far as what was the Norfolk Sound. Well, from that money, I was able to fly my brother down from Milwaukee. He was at WTMJ up there as a cameraman, and he came down and filmed the TV special.
Hello, Tidewater, Virginia. I'm entertainer Ray T. Jones, and welcome to my first TV special, That Norfolk Sound. A story about love and happiness and working together, tolerance, black and white, soul music, and country and western, something unique. But in these years of understanding, togetherness, I think we're going to make it with That Norfolk Sound.
We had a band, but we had to play soul music and country and western music. And we found in Europe, we went on a USO tour of Europe, and we found that, boy, we used to go just maybe a soul show or the country. Now I can go to one show and see them all. And I did very well on Church Street, and then I gave it up because I started advancing in the Navy, and I ended up being a command master chief of a ship, and I had a career. But what you do for love. I was inspired by my second wife to go into music again. And my children are all grown, and my wife said, "Why don't you do it again?" You know what? Yeah. There's a market for that. In fact, vinyl increased by 14% last year in sales. So I'm going to complete my album, That Norfolk Sound, I started 45 years ago, by bringing out 45s like they did in the old days. You do 12 45s or 6 45s, and you get 12 songs, then you bring a record out. And I'm going to do the country and western is going to be all CDs. And so the good thing I always say, it's nice to go to the big cities. It's nice to be from the big cities. But to go to a medium city with your talent, you can stand out. And I was able to come down here and stand out. I'm very thankful for that.